Hello there, my Victory fans. Welcome to the post-game show. This is going to go live for 11 o'clock tonight, the earlier late edition of the post-game show. So after the Leafs won 4-3 in overtime earlier in the morning time, on Sunday morning, I'm going to show you the post-game right now. Enjoy.
Empower your students at every stage of the writing process with Grammarly's generative AI. Use it to help students brainstorm ideas faster. Check for plagiarism.
William, I know you don't really like talking about yourself, but everybody else has been talking about you. And could you have written a more storybook ending for your two games over here?
I mean, it was pretty special for sure to get that OT winner there. But yeah, I mean, it was a great 4 points for us here, and hopefully bring that on the way back home.
I've asked all your teammates this. What has this felt like for you in terms of the NHL season? Has it felt like a training camp? Has it felt like a tournament? Has it felt like regular season games in Stockholm?
I don't know. It's been weird. I mean, walking around with my buddies, and then next day go play an NHL game. So it's been it's been weird, but it's been lots of fun. That's for sure.
Left side, Luke.
William, what do you think you'll remember most in this trip? Was there a moment in particular that you think you'll take away?
I mean, I think just playing the games and being with my family and showing the guys Stockholm. I think those three things were special.
Any more questions in English? We'll take questions in Swedish now.
Hej William, har du hunnit se din pappas reaktion på målet än?
Vad var han gjorde? Pekade eller någonting? Eller vad gjorde han?
Ja, han hoppade upp och ner och pekade vildsint. Var det något speciellt med liksom, hur målet blev till som han kände igen eller som ni har pratat om, tror du?
Nej, vi har inte pratat om något sånt där, men jag tror kanske han bara var glad att det blev mål, men det var kul.
William, hur har hela den här upplevelsen varit för dig med alla åtaganden du har haft utanför isen också, både med lagkamrater och varit med i talkshows, du har haft autografskrivningar och allt möjligt. Har det varit svårt att fokusera på hockeyn också?
Nej, men det har varit mycket jobb när man har varit här, så att inte så mycket vila, så att det ska bli skönt att komma hem till Toronto och ta det lite lugnt. Men det har varit jättekul att vara med familj och fans, och så att det finns så många fans runt hela världen som supportar Toronto och hockey överlag, så att det har varit jätteroligt.
Take two more for William on the right side here.
William, kan du berätta vad man tänker där när du kommer där i förlängningen och avgör först innan och sen direkt efter när du förstår vad du har gjort?
Nej, jag försöker bara ta den mot mål och skapa något läge där framför mål med pucken i övertid, och sen så det var ju bara skönt att den gick in i övertid och kunde ta hem vinsten.
Last question standing up here.
Ja, men hela den här veckan i stort, som sagt, det känns som att det är en saga som är skriven. Hur upplever du själv hela den här upplevelsen som har varit?
Ja, men man kommer ju aldrig glömma bort den här upplevelsen och kommit hit och spelat några matcher här framför familj och kompisar. Kommer att vara ett minne för livet, såklart.
Austin, could you have written a better script for Willie and the Leafs? 4 points, 4 points for the team, 5 points for him. Game-winning goal today.
Yeah, it was. I don't think you could. I mean, it's been a great week for us so far, and you could just see, all the Swedes being here, being home, and just the support for everybody. But obviously, with Willie and who he is as a player and as a person, and what he represents here in Sweden. So it's been a great week, and it's been a lot of fun to see all that.
Left side, Luke.
Austin, what do you think you'll remember most from this trip?
I just think it's one of those trips where you really come together as a team. You spend a lot of time together, and I think we're ready for a couple days away from each other, but just to go experience a different country, different culture, get to play hockey in a city like Stockholm. I'm definitely not going to forget the sun going down at 3 o'clock. So, but no, it's been a great week and a lot of fun.
Austin, you've played with Willie for so long, but I'm wondering if just being here, did you see or learn anything new about him, sort of away from the rink, nothing to do with the hockey?
No, not really. I feel like I know him pretty well. I mean, this is our 8th year together, and yeah, I mean, we all love Willie, and he's a special guy. He's a special player, and no doubt that this is a trip that we're all going to remember. But it's I think especially special for him and the rest of the Swedish guys on the team.
Front right.
Being here for 2 games in Sweden, how does the Swedish crowd compare to back home?
I mean, I thought it was great. I really liked the arena. I thought it's it feels a lot bigger than, I think it was like 13,500, something like that was max capacity. But I thought the crowd was great. The support was awesome, and like I said, I mean, it was just a lot of fun.
Take one more question. Back of the room.
Austin, would you like to play a global series again, and if so, where would you like to play it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe like Mexico City. That'd be fun. Go home for a bit. So, but I thought, I mean, everything was really great here. It was first class and really smooth. And like I said, I think it's definitely an experience we'll take with us and look back on. That was a very positive one.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool experience. Anytime you get to play internationally, especially in a city like Stockholm. So. Yeah, I love playing out there, and I enjoyed the fans going and them getting their chance and claps and stuff going. So it was pretty cool.
Could Willie have more of a dream trip?
I don't think so. I think it's about as good as it gets for him, and in his downtime. I know he got some time with his family, but he was also doing a lot of stuff around the city, doing his job and his role, and kind of taking it to the next level in terms of kind of promoting the game and our team and the global series and all that. So hats off to him. For both his play and his execution off the ice. Yeah, I mean, no, I don't think so. But as his teammate and a friend, I'm just like I'm so happy for him. We've been looking forward to this trip, and I know he has, and he's got lots of people coming to the games and to perform the way that he did. I mean, he's a big time guy. He likes the spotlight, and again, I mean, obviously the game against Detroit, then OT winner tonight, and then also doing his part off the ice to promote things is great work by him.
What's going on through your mind on that play that leads up to the goal and watching him?
Just watching him dance, do his thing, and you kind of almost had a feeling going into overtime he might be the guy to end it. So for him to come through, he just has a knack for those things.
Yeah, I mean, just joy. Obviously, very cool experience for all these Swedish guys to come here and be able to play in front of their family and friends in the NHL. So, he had a pretty good week here, and great for him to enjoy it and get to finish on top.
What's the biggest takeaway on a week like this, to spend this much time with the guys doing something that maybe you don't always get the chance to do?
I mean, it was fun. We enjoyed the city. We had a lot of good hosts. So they treated us pretty well. They knew how the Swedes told us where to go, and I think it was just a cool kind of little experience that you got to enjoy with your teammates and enjoy a couple nights in Sweden and just kind of let loose with the fellas.
Sorry if you've been asked this, but what's going through your mind when you see Willie pick up the puck and go through that?
I mean, just I know he's got the skill and kind of moves to do it and pull it off. So. It seems regardless of how tired he looks, he's still got juice in the tank, and that's something he surprised a lot of people with. And just a great power move to get to the net, and from that point on, just a nice little flick shot over the blocker there.
As a teammate, did you get a sense that this was a kind of pressure situation or something that Willie was trying to put on the show?
For Willie, are you saying?
Yeah.
I don't think Willie ever feels pressure. That guy's mellow all the time, so no, he's chilling.
Could you have written a more storybook ending, A, for your team and B, for Willie, than what you got tonight?
No, I don't think so. I talked to the group about that after, how it's a fitting end to the week for sure. For us, for Willie, for the fans, city, the country, all that kind of stuff. I think it's a terrific close to the event. Yeah, so it's terrific how it works out. I, of course, would prefer that we didn't get to the overtime, but if that's what we had to do to have a finish like that, we'll take it.
And just to follow up from this morning, I asked you, would you welcome it again? And you kind of hedged a little bit. Ask me later. After 4 points in 2 games, what do you think?
Well, it was the fact that we found the way to get the points. You'll leave feeling good. And it's a terrific trip. I mean, yeah, it's what a terrific city to be able to spend time here. You know, to have this happen in the middle of the schedule is both great. You get something to break up your season. Even though we're somewhat early here, you still get to break it up, and you spend quality time together. You get to come and experience a different culture, firsthand experience and knowledge of the culture that a good portion of our team grew up in and live in. So, this it's called the Global Series for a reason. I mean, I got talking to some Leaf fans, today from Austria and some others from Slovakia and Czech Republic. I mean, there's people here from all over the world. I learned as we go through this. So you start to get a feel for how important it is. So to that end, I think we have a role. We all have a role to play to grow the game and to expose the game to fans and people who love it and don't get a chance to see it live. So to that end, if they tell us we'll go, we'll go. Or if they tell us we can go, we'll go, and we'll do our part. In terms of how it affects the season, it's time will tell. We're going to do all that we can to manage it here when we get back home. Like I had sort of alluded to before we got here, I've talked to different coaches that have been through this experience before, and different people. Guy Boucher, as a head coach, has been through something like this before. And teams haven't always responded well. It's taken time to dig out of it. So it's going to be on us to manage that here now. So, in terms of the impact on our season and our schedule, that remains to be seen. How we get back home and deal with it. But in terms of the experience itself, you can't beat it.
Front right, Chris.
Sheldon, your time as Leafs coach, you've seen Willie take steps and build his game over these years. But how do you look at these 6 weeks or so in this season where he's gotten to with his play?
Yeah, I just think he's got such confidence and swagger here now that he's just feeling like he can turn the game at any point in time. So I think that's just the biggest thing. I don't think he would look at these 2 games and say that he played his best hockey, but he stepped up in big moments, and was a huge part of why we got 4 points here. And with all that said, a great opportunity for Willie, to come here and play, in his home city and country. But he had a full plate while he was here. More so than probably anybody that was here from the entire of the 4 teams. The obligations that he had, that he filled. So to be able to do that, still spend time with his family, and still put on a show on the ice, and make the impact that he did is tremendous, and thrilled for him.
All the way on the right.
Just to follow up on that, how do you think Willie has the capacity to juggle the events that he had to do in the big moments that you talked about?
I just think he's unflappable. I think that's really it. I think he is, whether it's, the spotlight of playing in Toronto and the media and all the different things that come with being a Maple Leaf, I don't think that phases him. In fact, I think he loves it and enjoys it, likes it that way. He lives here in Sweden's biggest city, and you can see he's a bit of a rock star here. We learned that. So I think, he just enjoys that, and he's not bothered by it. I think he's a guy that's really pretty much spent his life in the NHL, right? As the son of an NHLer. So I think he knows exactly what it means to be an NHLer, to give back to the game, and to be in a locker room, and be around a team, and to be with fans and all these kind of things. He's been around it his entire life, so I think all that sort of stuff he was built for.
2 more questions, left side, Luke.
For you personally, is there a specific moment or two that you think will stick with you after you leave here from the trip?
You know, personally, I had a lot of challenges here, like a lot of other people on our staff, and I know on a lot of other teams. I'm not sure how people in this room handled the time change and jet lag and all that kind of stuff, but didn't sleep one night. I felt like a decent night's sleep, so it was a challenge that way. Excited to go home because of that reason and to get back on a regular schedule. That said, to me, I just learned a lot about the city, the culture here, whether it was our off day and being outside for the whole day and walking around. I don't know if I've ever been in a more walkable city in my life. Just tremendous and so many great places to stop, and people are so friendly. So I think that's a big part of it. But I think the other thing that I guess if I could answer your question more succinctly would be just seeing how global the game really is. And you know how global it is, like as a sport, but the NHL, like I said this morning, I was talking to a family that was in from Austria to watch, and their Leaf fans are all wearing Leaf gear, and you kind of lose touch and lose perspective on some of those things when you're in our bubble in North America. But it really is a global game, so you see how important events like this are to give those fans an opportunity to experience it firsthand.
Last question, back of the room.
Coach, in addition to what you just said, Austin mentioned Mexico City as a possible destination for the Global Series. How do you like that?
It sounds like a wonderful idea. Yeah, I think good on Austin. I know that's a very important place to him. I think the more places you can connect to like that, and obviously it's probably not as entrenched. The game's not as entrenched in the culture there as it is here, but places like that I think are tremendous. And I think probably more importantly, to have somebody like Austin, that would be so important to him, just speaks to how diverse our game is and how much it's grown in that sense.